Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we're going to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel. We're going to side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth. That is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come in.
And why we should go through this rigorous, chaotic, demoralizing and inexplicable situation after much cogitation on this clandestine and surreptitious motive. He said, and I quote, "I am not a magician. Forgetting words are like eggs. Once broken, they are gone. Once spoken, they remain indelible in the heart of man." Come to think of it, do they have the powers, the spiritualism, the abracadabra, voodoo to perform the magic, and as well transmogrifically transmute and transfigurate this ugly, debilitating and exasperating situation? I saw it in locution. "I am not a magician." In its jocularity in quote 1. 2, the uncircumscribed bluster and in a vituperative ululation. I saw it in their hocus pocus explicandum, explication, elucidation, where we thought the shibboleth was a travesty and a parody to lampoon the masses expected a limousine from the government. After the miserly, the niggardly, the chaser-perry, the penurious, and the parsimonious, that I will say and remind us at this point in time that this is democracy. The government of the people, by the people, for the people. Not oligarchy, plutocracy, and aristocracy. The catchword, the byword, the shibboleth, the locution, the conversion, the paroxysm, the spasm are counterintuitively excruciating, malodorous, horrendous, odoriferous, and odorous. But I pray that is so much acclimatized transmogrification, is so much acclimatized transmutation. It's not an act of sarcasm. Could it be that we are heading for better days? Could it be the political Moses that will take us to the promised land? Only on this note will I koto in Japoho, or else I will not koto in Japoho. Sententious, inarticulate, and uncommunicative on this act of recidivism, which is the verisimilitudinous xenophobic attack on my consanguinities, thinking it is a path to honorificability dignitatis. Honorificability dignitatis is a verbal prolixity, a sesquipedalian war, a state of achieving honors. Yes. You see, the vilification, language, chechun, wobicon, an obstinate conspiracy, melancholy that led to this cartel, nauseous, and miasmatic vituperative attack. This is barbaric and megalomaniacal. My pain is this. But I've refused to act. What a devitalizing, a petrifying, and a desiccating situation. To me, the belligerent, deleterious, cantankerous, and murderous annihilation, decapitation, obliteration, and mutilation of my consanguinity in their milieu is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious, and clamorously exasperating. This impedimenta, combustible, and volatile lemma, in its maximum exoneration, reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. What germinated the abnegation and repudiation? What an academic mwahaha, academic yo-ho-ho, caused by these political yo-yos, political yobos, in their leadership rococo, leadership barbaration, in conjunction with administrative bemusement, holy bully, and discombobulation, in their obstreperous, malevolent shenanigan and hocus pocus agenda. Your boo-boo has poo-pooed into your business. The bifurcation and abdication of the vision in the name of honorificability to the dignitatis, just to score cheap political points. Then floxina, hilipilificating. You see, the stilty, politicos of torrent rodomontates and defalcators that you and I know. The labonotation of their eleemosinaries, ostentatious and libidinous lifestyle shows that they are out. Oh, obliteration, mutilation, decapitation. Say no to this academic bantigism, academic nocambulism, and academic malocclusion, which their children are not part of. It's in a political somnambulism and malocclusion. It's in a financial and economic bantigism. Look at the way the game politics is becoming a bugaboo. What a political holy bully. What a political hoity-toity. What a political foodie-doody. What a political hocus-pocus you have come with. What a political jabberwock. What a political poppycock. What a political gobbledygook. With this consternation, I ask that you accept my pertinacious circumlocution. Accept my pertinacious circumambagous, grandiloquence, and magniloquence. But I will tell you this, I will not koto in Japoho. I will refuse to koto in Japoho. Thank you. It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious, laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this, that it is Leka and Polcratidinus that in a legotla, in an imbizo, flagitious, and enervating lematas, were excogitatedly ruminate how the recidivistical politicals move from budget disappearance to budget doctoration. But now we are faced with a debilitating, exasperating thing with a financial lobotomization. But I pray that this will not ignite a clamorous demonstration. Now, come to think of it, how dare they deplete the citizens of their obstreperous and vociferous modus vivendi? Enough of this vilification and solipsism. This is execrably pugnacious, pestilential, and attenuating. Imagine the imbibition of the political rodomontates, which has kept us in an abject ululation. Why?
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Good afternoon, people. Thank you, man. Thank you so very kindly that you join us this afternoon. We are talking 88.5. And wherever you are following us from around the world, as per your time zone, your geography, we say hi, or the universal expression, hello. Thank you all for coming on. We appreciate it. Kings 88.5 Real Talk on this 20th day of August 2026. The year is gradually going to an end. The reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Judah Christopher. What a day, what a time again. And Sam Andrews, people, as always, Sam Andrews. Let's bring few of you on. Time is of the essence, as quickly as we can, and then we get into what we've got, and then we are out for today. Is the weekend. We've got to refresh ourselves, though it's not that easy, but we have to manage. Just like when President Walker came to power initially, they say we should manage our expectation. So yeah, we're still managing our expectation because they are in charge. They got everything. We're managing. Emmanuel Gwe, Japan Freeway, Alexander Dolly, Tennessee, USA, Tobasi, Papi Success Keita, Musa Sharif, Gardnersville, New Georgia, Matolin Pedet, Boyman Koi, Tusafil, Grassfield, Gardnersville, Stephen Yakadi, District 2, Lower Magabi County, Lovetta Bombo, So Clinic, Mamata Son, Broad Street, Matthew Undole, Gbakpolu, that's Gbakpolu City, and Dubon Hill, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA, Samson Carey, Batnasville, James Moluba, Topo Village, Royal Always Va, Prince Coleman, Capitol Hill, Sylvester Moreau, Painesville Police Academy, Jucontiche, your business center, Johnson Street, Jumon Colley, your residents, we are Political Action Committee. My dear sister Orita Sonny Wikwire, good afternoon, good morning. Hi there. I spare your time zone, your geography. Hope that you are faring well. The chairman himself, Roman Rico Kenneth Bolatupan, the chairman for life, the one and only chairman. All of you people, great people, welcome. Thank you that you join us. Today is Friday, the last day of this week, or second to the last Saturday is the last Perisloba, New Jersey, USA, Preston Tukwa. Today is the last day, second to the last tomorrow Saturday, and then Sunday, and after Sunday, it's Monday. So the people always say, TGIF, thank God, it's Friday. Because Friday is the time that they go jolly. They go enjoy themselves. So they always set for Friday to come. And so we are grateful to God Almighty that we had God keeping watch over us from Monday to Friday. This day, we can be more grateful. He continues to watch over us presently and will beyond this time. We are grateful to him. From Monday to Friday, going through a lot, walking through our valley of shadow of death, with God hovering us with his rod and his staff. We have every reason to bless his holy name, to acknowledge him, to say thank you. He is the everlasting God. He is our everlasting hope. He is the one and true God, the hope on which we stand. He is our protective covering. He is our supervisor, the ones who lead us through. He is just everything. He is our everlasting hope. This one by Bishop Willen Murphy, Everlasting Hope.
Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Let me hear your church. Shall I be afraid? Say it again. The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I be? Say it again. The Lord is my light and salvation. I need to hear you back there. Shall I be? Come on, Bishop, sing. Shall I be afraid? Come on, first lady. I need to hear your voice. Shall I be? Shall I be? I will trust in you. Raise your voice and declare it. Say, I will trust in you. Yes, I will wait. That's what I've been doing all week. I will wait on you. Lift your hands and say, I will remain confident. Let me hear you. I will remain confident. I will see the goodness of the Lord. Say it again, church. I will remain confident. I will see the goodness of the Lord. Everybody, the Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Come on, church. Whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is my light and salvation. Come on, declare it. Whom shall I will trust in you. Everybody declare, I will trust in you. Somebody tell the Lord, I will wait. I will wait on you. Say it again. I will wait on you. Everybody, remain. Sing it, say it. I will remain. Inside to see love. I'm gonna sing it, Lord. Testimony. Come on, Bishop. I will see the goodness of the Lord. If you believe in the sea of goodness, I need you to raise a sound of freedom. We make this declaration of faith together, and I need every voice in this building to declare. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on your love. We set our hope on the one who is the everlasting God. You are the everlasting God. Somebody raise it up. We set our hope, we set our hope on you. We set our hope on your love. We set our hope on the one who is the everlasting God. You are. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on you. Who is the everlasting? Somebody declare. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on you. We set our hope on the one who is the everlasting God. Somebody declare the everlasting God. With the hands lifted, I will remain. Sing. I will remain. Yeah. I will see the goodness of the Lord. Say it, church. I will remain. I will see the goodness of the Lord. I will wait on you. I will wait on you. Somebody raise it up, say, but trust in you. You say it, say it. I will trust in you. Yes, sir. One more time, say, I will trust in you. Oh, that's how we'll say, I will trust in you. I was singing this one Sunday at my church, and we were believing God for a miracle, and we started saying, I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. Come on, church, raise it up. I will trust in the Lord until I will trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. Everybody raise your hands. I will trust in the Lord until I will remain confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord One more time, church. I will confident see the goodness of God. You believe you're getting ready to see the goodness of the Lord. Will you take the next 20 seconds and give him the best praise that you can give him? Hallelujah. That's not your best praise. Come on, hallelujah. Take the next 10 seconds and give him the best praise you can.
Bishop William Murphy, change, everlasting God, upon whom we rest our hope. Having taken us from Monday to Friday, covering us, leading us through the valley of the shadow of death, laid out by our political enemies, we have every reason putting ourselves in that single gratitude foreigner that went back, having healed 10 persons, Jesus Christ, to say thank you. Luke 17:18, and Jesus said, weren't you 10? Weren't you 10 I healed? Weren't you 10 I kept watch over? Weren't you 10 I order your steps? To come back and say thank you, save this foreigner, meaning only this foreigner. We are grateful. In our imperfections, we acknowledge God. We are grateful for everything that he has done. He continues to do for us. In the midst of it all, God never leaves us. We are grateful. Acknowledgement is not only gratitude, it's worship. And that God cherishes a lot. And we're grateful to you too, all of you, for coming on. We appreciate you very well. So let's get to what we've got on our plate. And then we are out for today. Friday is the weekend. We've got to refresh ourselves, but we can do as the others, but we got God on our side. So let's go with developments unfolding out of Liberia briefly. And then we've got just 2 items to look at, and that will be doing it. Nigeria's former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, has claimed President Bola Tinubu is 90 years old and says he has evidence he could present in court. Atiku Abubakar made the claim in a BBC interview while defending his own age ahead of Nigeria's 2027 presidential election. Atiku Abubakar, who will be approaching 80 by the election time, argued that age should not disqualify him from running, saying he remains healthy and capable of governing. President Bola Tinubu's official date of birth is March 29, 1952, making him 74. Atiku Abubakar did not publicly provide evidence during the interview to support his claim. Atiku Abubakar served as Nigeria's vice president from 1999 to 2007 and has unsuccessfully run for president several times. Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama has backed a crackdown on airport workers who beg or solicit tips or money from international passengers, saying the practice damages the country's image. President Mahama said every interaction at Accra International Airport, from immigration and baggage handling to parking and other services, shapes visitors' first and last impressions of Ghana. The Ghana Airports Committee, or company, has already dismissed 2 car park passengers. President John Dramani Mahama made remarks as he launched a new airport development that will include 2 hotels, more than 2,000 parking spaces, shops, offices, and restaurants. And police in Malawi have arrested 2 senior officials at the state-owned National Oil Company of Malawi over alleged fraudulent transfer of over 400,000 linked to fuel-related payments. The officials could face charges including negligence in safeguarding public funds and misuse of public office. Police say the money was transferred to an account in Mozambique for fuel loading and clearing fees, while the institution had previously described the case as a suspected cyber fraud involving altered banking details. Local media later reported that the oil company said no money had been lost and that the funds had reached the intended recipient. The differing accounts have raised questions about how the payment was approved and what happened to the money. Investigations, according to the BBC, are still continuing. Those are some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia. Let's get to what we've got on our plate today. The last or second to the last day of the week. Today is Friday. Yesterday we had a wonderful time, very joyous one, in the presence of FC Barcelona, the world's greatest team, the world's most classical, entertaining football club, a brand that surpasses all clubs of the world, FC Barcelona, against Atletico Bilbao. The game started off very interesting, unique one, and we ended 2-0. Real Madrid had manned the table for us temporarily. They were on top of the table for just few hours, and we took them from there. They are now below us. They're sitting under us. We're stepping on them. They got a game on Saturday at 3 p.m. Malaga wish they will win because Malaga is not that strong. They will win Malaga. We expect them to win 4, 5, 6, 7. Even if it ends at 8, no problem. Malaga is not that strong. After that, we've got our next match on Sunday. Not Sunday, but Monday. FC Barcelona plays on Monday. After that, we played yesterday, so we are resting today. We'll rest tomorrow, Saturday. Then we'll rest Sunday. We have 4 days of rest, and then we get ready. FC Barcelona fans, thank you ever so much, all of you, for giving the support yesterday. I saw many of you in your jersey, in a buoyant mood, very spirited. Let's keep it up. We've got another game on Monday. On Monday at 7:30 p.m., FC Barcelona. Our opponent, Real Madrid, they are afraid. A couple of seasons ago, they used to tell us, and even international analysts, sports commentators, journalists, they will admit that Barcelona wasn't serious at all to challenge for any major trophy in Europe if that the team they will have, because we were managing with the players from the academy who were in a financial squeeze. We didn't have the money because the previous president gave almost all of the players that he signed exponential contract, stratospheric payment. So Barcelona had reached the limit according to the Spanish rule. We could not sign players, so we had to depend on the academy players. So in a sporting context, it was Proverb 22:6. So we will train those young boys from the academy and we'll bring them in. It did pay off for us. The other clubs were signing players, we could not. Finally, with the ingenuity, the perspicacity, the creativity, the resilience of our president, Jean Laporta, who has had very successful stint as president of Barcelona, change the entire, to use the philosophical description, the entire metaphysics of Barcelona, meaning the entire identity. He changed Barcelona identity. That Barcelona is a force in Europe again. Today, our opponents are afraid. The same journalists, analysts, sports pundits, commentators, and fans around the world that kept on saying, oh, Barcelona not this, Barcelona can do this, Barcelona can fight for major trophies, are the ones who are saying now that Barcelona squad, this identical squad for 2026-2027 season, is a squad to reckon with. It is a strong squad, very forceful. Yes, and that is true, because the reality convinces anyone that is true. We didn't have, for almost 3 seasons, we didn't have what we say in football term, bench, meaning that when you're taking off a key player, another key player goes in. We didn't have that. So people used to say all manner of things against us. We'll go play. Sometimes they beat us. Sometimes we draw. Sometimes we manage to win. We endure all of those. Right now, they are confessing because Barcelona's squad is squad depth. Barcelona has squad depth. Squad depth. You take off Gordon, another dangerous man, Adeyemi going in. You take off Lamine Yamal, another dangerous man going. You everywhere, every compartment, every department of Barcelona. It's so extraordinary. Yes. Though we have our jigsaw is complete, but we still want to have Julian Alvarez. Just so you know, they say his situation is serious, it is psychological, and we just hope that he doesn't do anything to himself, because it's been reported by almost all of the prime and elite media in Spain that medically he was tested. The people now like us, everything, they have the psychiatrists, they have the doctors, they have everybody to look after the person. And it came out, the result came out that he's mentally depressed. Given what has happened over the time, that means he's lacking full concentration and relaxedness. He's in a state of confusion, don't know what to do, can't understand the situation, cannot understand himself. And if one of the analysts said, if that continues and it reaches a grave point, something could happen to him. And if something happens to him, then the football FA, the Spanish FA, his family, and others will then put everything on the lap of Atletico Madrid president, who is insisting. Others are saying, given the situation, with less than no time for the transfer window to close, since that is his wish to join Barcelona, you allow him to go. Forget about the frosty relationship between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. You allow him to go so that something doesn't happen to him. That's what the guy said. And I think it makes sense, because the guy said he started to talk about some of the players that had the same situation with that Julian Alvarez in, and they almost took their life. They almost took their own life. So he is saying that, given his experience, that why it is true that Julian has a contract up to 2030, and Atletico Madrid is vexed with Barcelona based on how Barcelona approached the situation 1-2, that they cannot sell Julian Alvarez to Barcelona because Barcelona is their rival, and the player himself is insisting that he doesn't want to go to any club but Barcelona. It all makes sense that they just let him go. Face it. Now, another thing that happened today, I should tell you, today, Friday, we got only 2 items. We are returned, and then that's it. We out. You heard this morning, Israel was very exhaustive on it, very extensive. Another thing that happened in Spain today, and it's still on, that a sizable number of fans of Atletico Madrid gathered at the office of the president, Gil Marin, chanting, using awful expressions, and sometimes want to go violent, that they don't want Julian Alvarez in the club anymore. That given what has happened, he should leave. The one protesting at the club office, insisting that the president should sell him. If Barcelona is the only destination, no problem. Let him go. If that's what he wants, if that what will bring relief to him, if that what will stop depression from coming, or will take away the depression so that he doesn't do something for himself and everything is put on Atletico Madrid, let it be. They chanted that he's not the first person that left Atletico Madrid for Barcelona. Several players left, they did the same thing. So if he's doing it, no problem. Probably the Atletico Madrid on a Porsche. So, and they are right. They are right. We have few hours. I think tonight the transfer window should be closing. Now, listen. You sometimes insistence can lead to what you don't expect, you want. Insisting on the person staying can cause something. Look, my brother, no law. Everything I learned is the lawyers can say there is nothing binding. There's no law. The lawyers, they can say there's no law binding. You and a woman can have XYZ. You're married today. The man can say he want a relationship, or the woman can say he wanted the divorce. You can have agreement. Somebody, another party can come politically, socially, and say, I'm part of it, I'm breaking it. The law will grant that. There is nothing binding. Laws are just made just so you can have that, but it's not binding. Once the person says, I want to quit, you can't insist. No, you're at the lawyers that area there. So the guys are saying, what if something happens to Julian Alvarez? What if he does something to himself? Or what if he fall off? What would Gil Marin, the president of Atletico Madrid, say? If the man is insisting that he doesn't want to, let him go. The third thing that came out, the third thing, I know you political people, you're enjoying it because you're not supposed to be enjoying it. I imagine the discussion that all over now. So where you realize your mental attention on the political and coming to our football small. The third incident that occurred today, that the guys are saying Julian Alvarez he and his representative might take the matter to the Spanish Court of Federation. And the court had the provision there that they could take it, that Julian Alvarez can terminate his contract and take the matter to court, terminating his contract. And according to the guys, they explain that it's going to be a complicated one, but it will work in the favor of Julian Alvarez. That the release clause of 500 million that Atletico Madrid is relying on, it might be less than that, because the amount will be determined by the court. So the court will say, okay, pay 150 million or pay 90 million or pay 200. But it's a long haul, which they don't advise that Julian Alvarez should take advantage of, because it will keep him off the page. He will not immediately move to Barcelona. It will take a while. So the guys are saying that they just need his representatives should continue to see reason to appeal to Atletico Madrid leadership or their board, since the player said he doesn't want to go to Arsenal at all, and the player is unsettled, and you can't get him playing. You will not get anything from a player who is unsettled. When a person says he wants to go, fine. God did it. God did it. That's why we have the prodigal son story in the Bible. The reason God put it there so that we use it and see. If somebody said, because of XYZ, I want to leave, give the person the right, let the person go. The person is taking off, the person is saving you from a bigger letdown. Because you can never tell what will happen. You keep that person in your house, that person might take something and die. They will say that this person killed the person. The other people around there say, oh, the person said they wanted to go, and the woman insisted the ball not going. So you see now she not kill the ball. We've seen that thing on earth before. That is why God in heaven himself, he said, my man, he said you won't go, no problem. Pack your thing, you go. When you experience life, when you have problem, then if it's not right for you, you won't come back, you can come back. So you don't insist. When somebody say they won't go, go. You won't go. Why, Emmanuel, you can say our radio station is not your FCB radio station. The FCB radio station, yeah. If you wanted them go to Real Madrid radio station, nonsense. As much as you are a supporter of the club, you think, of the party and station, you think our continuous, that nonsense. This is, I have the right to talk about, hey, if you don't like it, go set up Real Madrid radio station. Today is Friday. I can say I'm only talking sports today ago. You heard politics from Monday to Friday. You're happy? You're satisfied? What is it that you want to hear that you have not heard, or that you haven't heard that you want to hear? I've already said what I'm coming to talk. George, we are returned. Have you not heard, George, we are returned? George, we are coming back. So, there where we are. The transfer window closes any time from now. And Atletico Madrid president has to see reason to let the man go. They have to let the player go. And Real Madrid is under this thing. Real Madrid does not want that man to go to Barcelona, because if he gets in Barcelona team, nobody will beat Barcelona. Even if Real Madrid and Barcelona plays, you will hear that Barcelona beat Real Madrid 7-8. So they are under it. They don't want him to go. They don't want Atletico Madrid to sell him to Barcelona. But whatever, it's up to him. He should have done this thing long since. Be like the other players. Stop going to training. Move to terminate your contract. Protest. Put defense against yourself. Then they will say, oh, let the man go on, and they will be forced to sell you. Why you want to sell a man to Arsenal? The man play in England. It's not the club. He play in England. That is the reason Julian Alvarez don't want to go back. It's not so much of Arsenal that Arsenal is a low club. No, he play in England. He play in England. So his position is, I don't want to go back. I play there. I know the atmosphere. So why extra? I want to stay in Spain. And I want to go to Barcelona. Allow the men to go. What's that? All right. So, okay. Let me get this one. On. All right. So, let's go now to what we've got. President Joseph Yeman Boakai, day before yesterday, spoke to the nation. He spoke to the nation on day before yesterday. And the president made several lines, even though he had a message speech, a message address, dysfunctional, disorganized. But the president's address was one that captured a couple of areas. One of those areas is what I want to talk about. The president gave a caution on this drug issue. So I've been thinking how that sector of the country will now move. That is the third to the last paragraphs. He said that he moved to urge political and religious leaders, civil society organizations, and commentators to act responsibly and avoid statements that could undermine Cool under my hold on to that word. I want to get the president word for word on this. There he called on the religious leaders, the politicians, and other people. He said this fight cannot be won by government alone. I ask parents, communities, schools, religious institutions, traditional leaders, and young people to reject misinformation, support prevention, report criminal activity through lawful channels, and allow due process. All right. So, over the time, we have had people raising their voices from a religious perspective. And those people will come in return with their reaction to say that no, religious leaders are not politicians, pastors are not to partake in politics, and on and on. And over the days, we've had this debate. And I thought that no, it is a misconception. The same pastors, you will hear them say, when the unrighteous rule, the nation suffers. You have heard that, haven't you? That what we hear them say. When the unrighteous rule, the nation suffers. You hear them say that. When the unrighteous rule, when the unrighteous rule, they say the nations suffered. That means they wouldn't govern right. They wouldn't serve the people. There will be subjection. There will be undermining. There will be discrimination. It will just be, in a nutshell, bad policy. So they are not politicians. They cannot get into mainstream decision making. They cannot get involved with policy making, because that's what politics is all about. When you're saying politics, you're saying decision making, you're saying policy, all of those things within it. That's what politics means. It simply means administration. It means governing. It means the kind of ideas you develop, the kinds of framework or the kind of policy that you develop to govern, the kind of decision you take. That's what politics is all about. It's not a bad word, but many, because they have not understood it, or they have not understood it literally or by specialty or by education, they have understood it from the side war. So their understanding is politics a bad thing. But there is, even in the church, politics is there, but it is not spelled the way what we have nationally spelled. Nationally, we have politics, politics, which means all that I have explained to you. In the church, it's the same thing, but it is not politics, it is polity, P-O-L-I-T-Y, and it refers to structures, decision making, administration, and on and on. The church has laws. The church draws up rules, frameworks, guidelines from the Bible, which is the arbiter of church polity, or the arbiter of decision making or administration to govern the people. The people themselves got different behavioral patterns, different traits, different attitude, and on and on. So you have the masses. That is decision making. The pastor has to govern. The pastor is managing different behavior traits, different pattern, and different mentor, all of those things. That is politics also. But since it is the church, they say P-O-L-I-T-Y. Out of the church, nationally, they say P-O-L-I-T-I-C-S, politics. So pastors say, God, the pastors can get in politics. So I thought to provide this clarity. That's why I said only 2 items we have, and then we move on. That most of the pastors in Liberia have misconception about politics. Nowhere it said that pastor should engage or pastor should become a politician, because that is their understanding. God was not a politician, but God faced the political leaders of his days. God in Jesus Christ spoke to those issues that were affecting adversely the masses, those issues that were prospering the masses. Paul, Timotheus, Silvanus, Epaphroditus, and on we can go. In their theological service, they came across different humanities, different cultures, different issues unfolded. What did they do? They faced those issues. They faced political leaders of the days. Go back in the days of the Old Testament. You have the kings that were the political leaders then. You have the theological prophets facing them everywhere. Just read the entire New Testament or Old Testament and look at the events. The Bible is not exclusively spiritual. The Bible, please listen carefully, I'm setting the pace or the basis or the stage. The Bible is not exclusively spiritual. The Bible is the Word of God. And the Word of God encompasses every event, every situation. The Bible is historical, is theological, is economical, it is agriculture, it's political, it's economic, it's all of those things. Why? Because you see all of those things there. We want to find economic solution, you get it in the Bible, you see. You want to find political solution, you get there, you will find it. You want to find a situation to come out of, an idea to come out of difficulty, you'll find it. Leadership, you'll find it. The Bible speaks of political authoritarian leader, tyrannic leader. The Bible speaks of leaders, transformative leaders. So the Bible is not exclusively spiritual as some would think. God did not call his ministers to be politicians, but the instruction is to guide humanity, to safeguard humanity, to lead humanity on the right path, because they have the discernment to discern the signs of the time. Why did God put the events of the events of the sons of Issachar there in the Bible? In 1 Chronicles 12:32, it said the sons of Issachar who had understanding of the time, so that Israel would know what to do. As religious leaders then, their primary responsibility was to discern the signs of time and advise appropriately. One of the responsibilities of the pastor is to discern the signs of time, and discerning the signs of time incorporates political, economic, social, all of those issues. All. Because the pastor sees beyond the present. So if things are unfolding in the country, especially injustices, human rights abuse, political corruption, administrative corruption that impinge on the very society that set before them weekdays and Sunday, and cannot say anything, then everything of the preaching is not with God. Jesus Christ faced the political leaders of his days besides the religious leaders. There was widespread corruption. Jesus faced it. There was injustice. Jesus faced it. They will use this event in John chapter 2 and say, oh, Jesus got vexed and Jesus beat people out of the temple. So some people use that as a justification for their anger, but that is not what it was about. Jesus acted against injustice. Jesus acted against corruption. Jesus acted against administrative wrong. What were they doing? They were extorting, just as you have people extorting money from people today. They were extorting money. They were engaging into different kinds of corruption. They were taking money from people and say the same thing that people do today. Say, look, come, we're doing this. And say you want to do this, come, I can do it for you. But bring this amount. And they will increase it and say, look, we can do this. If you do give us this, we'll do this. And then when they give the money, bam, the person is left the victim. That's what they were doing in the temple. And Jesus sat there for pretty close to an hour watching them. He saw injustice. He saw wrongdoing. He saw extortion, monetary extortion. He saw unadministrative act. And then what happened? He moved to act. And I can give you several. Several I can give you. God did not say pastors should partake in politics. Most of the pastors today, they have this myopic thing, and oh, pastor should not take part in politics. Pastor should not do this. When the people you are governing, when the people you're presiding over in the church are the ones who are being affected, because the church is not in the sky. The church is on earth. The church is a configuration or a composition of several people from different places. And they come to you for comfort. They come to you for direction. And so if something is happening and the pastors refrain and say that they have the responsibility, so everything is left with the politician. But then they start to gossip in the back and say, oh, the Bible says when the unrighteous rule, the nation suffer. How can you quote that verse and you're doing nothing? God did not say, pastor, go and become politicians. God said, look, you have the masters before you. When injustice is being meted against the people, when wrongdoing is unfolding against the people, when bad decisions are being made by the politicians, by the rulers, by the leaders, and they are affecting my people, you have to speak out. You have to. Now, don't take that verse. Amen. This is the first thing, people, I thought to share. The reason I want to dismiss this thing of people when things happening like the way things are happening in the country, nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to say anything. They say, oh, Pastor Mona do that. Pastor Mona do that. Pastor Mona do that. Pastor again do that. That is a blatant lie. God did not say. God did not say you should be a politician. God said speak out. He said speak out. He didn't say go be politician. He said speak out. He said speak out, speak out, speak out, speak out. Because when you do, you will be going against that bad decision to make a good decision by the politician. Have you read carefully Matthew chapter 25, verse 35? Have you read that verse when you say, when I was hungry, did you give me? When I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was prison, did you visit me? Have you read that verse? Have you gone to the history of it? Well, it encompasses everything humanity. God puts himself in the situation of the people. The people are groaning from bad decisions being made by the politicians. And these are the same people who sit down before the pastors on Sunday. And they are groaning in their hearts. And you can say nothing. Nothing about it. And they say, that's not our responsibility. Look at our culture. Look at what is happening. All of the pastors, bishops, apostles, prophets are muted. And they have this thing, they say, no, pastors should not participate in politics. That is a wrong conception. God did not call any pastor to be a politician. If you want to be a politician, fine. Then you are a politician. But God called pastors to speak out, to safeguard, to direct humanity, to lead the church on the right path. The church is the society is the church. Sunday morning, what do you see? The politicians, the members, everybody, where they assemble in the church. The masses sit before the church. And it becomes the pastor's responsibility to catalog those ills in society. Just as the masses sit before us on the radio from Monday to Friday. Right now, I'm speaking to the masses. I have the advantage. The pastor has the advantage like the radio station. The masses assemble to listen. That masses has the politicians, the doctors, the president, the speaker, the deputy speaker, all of those people, all of the decision makers, they assemble to listen. Why? They assemble to listen, the fear of God. So it becomes a real opportunity for the pastor with no fear to state exactly how the country is. How the country is. God did not say, pastor, become a politician. Because when you are a politician now, you concentrate on politics. But he said, you have to speak to those issues. You have the platform. You have the platform. You have everything. There is every advantage today in favor of everybody. Everybody. The journalists, the pastors, everybody. Look at the platforms all around. Others are speaking against injustices. Look on social media and see people expressing their opinion, telling what the government is, what the government isn't doing. Other people say, oh, the government is doing that. Everybody expressing, the speaking out. And those things, the decisions that are being made, they are affecting your members. How can pastor be telling the people that God has not given us the spirit of fear but boldness? Then this pastor is afraid to speak out boldly, fearlessly. How can the pastor say that greater is he that is in him, the pastor, but yet koto in the power of the politician? It means the politician is greater than the pastor, because the pastor is afraid and hides under the idea of pastor can take part in politics. God did not say pastor should take part in politics. Jesus was not a politician, but Jesus spoke against the injustices, the wrongdoing of his days. If God were to send Angel Gabriel down now and you raise that issue, Angel Gabriel will tell you what St. Andrews is saying is true. That is the instruction. Read the Bible. In Jeremiah chapter 3, what did he say? He said, I will make you pastors after my own heart. Then he stated the reason. He said, for instruction and understanding. How do you instruct? How do you give understanding? You hear pastors complaining that all the people in there to come to church. Then they say, all the people in there go in it. The people not coming to church. Or when they're secular thing, then they can go there. But how will the people come to church when the people are groaning in their hearts from the political decisions affecting them? Hardship has taken over them. They cannot find their way out. They cannot pay school fees. They have so much burden of all kinds. They aren't settled. They are unsettled. And you, the pastor, to speak to the issues that will bring relief by altering the decision of the politicians. You say, Pastor can take part in politics, but you want the people to go to the church in their hurt, in their frustration, in their pain, and put money on the waste money on you because you're pastor. It doesn't work that way. People have to graduate from that thing. Pastor has to stop. They have something in biblical study called encyclical. Encyclical means a position given by a pastor or a church or a religious organization. So when this issue, when the House came out with this abortion legislation, that they were trying to allow abortion at certain level, at certain rate, or at certain period. What happened? We saw an encyclical from the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church came out and said, look, government, particularly the legislature, what you people intend to do is wrong. This is not right for humanity, and in the sight of God, it's wrong. We are against it, and we urge you not to pass that legislation. The Catholic Church, just get there. If you have your smartphone, just put there the Catholic Church position on abortion. That's what they call encyclical. Did they say that the pastor, the priest, say we are politicians, we're getting involved? No, they spoke out. They spoke their position. Encyclical also. Right now, you see what I'm doing? I'm giving a journalistic encyclical. That means a journalistic position. When the pastor is preaching, the pastor is giving a biblical encyclical, meaning a position. Why would it take? You have so many organizations here. You have the Liberal Council of Churches. You have the Full Gospel. You have the Interfaith. You have all of those religious organizations. You know what you have those religious organizations for? To help humanity, to safeguard, to lead the government on the right track. That means if something is happening and they know that that decision will affect humanity, is going to affect humanity, they will advise expressly. Because they have understanding of the signs of the time, they can discern beyond. That's what God put. 1 Chronicles 12:32. He said, the sons of Issachar who had understanding of the time. Today, you can interpret it this way. The pastors who have understanding of the time, so that Liberia, so that the government would know what to do. They will speak. What they say, you hear the other expression that I've heard, they say, the church is the moral conscience of society. That expression simply means you guide, you lead, you advise appropriately, you speak out. So when danger is about to befall this country, my people, honestly, all of us are Christians, so let me tell you, you don't depend on anybody called pastors in this country. You don't depend on anybody. Because what is something about to happen now? Who will know? Who will know? Who will God reveal it to? All the people say they've been taking a position. Oh, pastor can take part in politics. As if God called you to be a politician. God did not call anybody, any pastor to be a politician. God said, speak out. That's why he sent out. He sent out his prophets to speak. To speak. He did not say, go and be a politician. He said, speak. Speak. When he got ready, and he sent Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the only thing Jeremiah gave school, he called Jeremiah to go out. And when he sent Jeremiah, it was a mixture of different people, politicians, doctors, different people, different culture. Jeremiah, because Jeremiah had a little understanding, he said, the people there, they will do that to me, they will tear me up, they will tear me into pieces. He said, go. Gideon. He called Gideon. He called Gideon to go and speak. Then Gideon was afraid. He said, oh, we're too small. The people then are so tapped up, people, that military people, they get guns all over. They get the barrack, they get the police, they get. He was afraid. Eh? How they call the other man? Jonah. What did he do? He called Jonah to go and speak. Eh? He called Jonah to go and speak. Jeremiah, what did he do? The man said, look, Jeremiah, speak to the most ruthless ruler, the most ruthless political ruler, who was Joachim. The most ruthless political leader. God said, look, come on, what is happening over there? That man is inflicting pains on my people, injustice, wrongdoing going on, bad decision. I need you to speak. And Jeremiah went. Jeremiah spoke to the politicians. He spoke against the bad decisions, the wrongdoing. That's what's happening. What happened? The things that the pastors are afraid of today, it ain't happening. It happened in the Gaza day. The man ordered. He ordered his military people to chase after Jeremiah to kill him. Because Jeremiah spoke. Jeremiah did not become a politician, he spoke. The next person, Uriah, Jeremiah's friend, Uriah, were on the other side speaking against the same thing that your man, I call him, Joachim, was doing all over the place. Bad political leader. He said, man, everything wrong. How can you make such decision? How can you do that? How can you do that? Political leader, political president, Joachim. He said, oh, so the people, yeah. Because you see, when I read all these stories in the Bible, and I look at today, I say, I can see why. But none of those things happening. Who wants to kill pastor? Who wants to run after any pastor? Like they ran after Uriah. Uriah ran into Egypt after he finished preaching, facing the issues. The political dictator, Joachim, said, oh, I missed Jeremiah. Then his friend preaching yet talking about our Bible decision making. In fact, look, you'll get the military, you'll get the police, you'll get everybody. You'll go after them and you'll search for him. Everywhere he goes, you'll search for him. They ran after. But those guys were brave. Those guys were bold. They were not politicians. I'm using this to tell you that as pastors, don't be afraid. You get on Facebook, oh, me, I resign from politics. And you're a dead man. You're not a pastor. You're not brave. You're not bold, rather. All kinds of things happening to the masses. Did God say any pastor must become politician? You think ordination, when they're ordaining people, you think that you're meriting, you think that showmanship? It goes with responsibility. That's why Jesus said, they will say all manner of things against you. What did he say? He said, for my sake. Because you signed up to do it for me. And when I gave you the instruction, I said, speak, speak. Because society can never get better when pastors mute themselves. Or in an pastor should not take part in politics. Who told you know what taking part in politics means? That you become a politician. It's different from speaking against the injustices, the wrongdoing that are going on by the politician decision. Nobody's speaking out. So everybody, look what happened to Joe Howard Taylor. The only person that spoke out was Joel Howard Taylor, pastor, Bishop Gadier Johnson of Restoration Baptist Church, that the church she in. That only Joel Howard Taylor, pastor, spoke out. The other pastors and bishops, apostles, and prophets, they saw that inhumane treatment. And they know very well from a biblical perspective, it's wrong. They muted themselves. What if, sometimes you put yourself in and say, what if this was my sister or my church member or my wife? That the time you want to? So I see y'all on that, yeah. I just thought that we should dismiss that thing. That pastor should not take part in politics. Then why were they talking yesterday? They didn't know that yesterday they were in politics. Oh, because it was against George Weah or because it was George Weah? Because we know some of the pastors that were talking yesterday. We know some of the pastors that today. And you can see why they will say this, because President Boakai appointed most of the pastors in his government. President Boakai appointed most of the pastors. Now the other pastors who are saying pastors should not take part in politics, do they have the audacity to look at their fellow pastors and say resign from that position? Because that is a political position. When you accept a political position, you are a politician. You are a politician. Once you accept a political position, President Boakai appointed most of the pastors, FPRC, NPA, National Transit Authority, everywhere he appointed them. Pastors, he appointed them on boards. Look at the boards. Take all of the boards that President Boakai constituted. You will see pastors there. The president is who? The president is a politician. The president took a political decision. That political decision is the constitution of the board. And you accept it. So you agree to be drifted into a political culture, because everything they will be discussing is politics. So you tell your pastors now, you saying, oh, pastors should not take part in politics. You tell them now that you people are politicians, you leave the church. The church that you're presiding over, you leave it. You see, sorry to say, I'm not dismissing I'm not being too dismissive, or I'm not being dismissive of our pastors here, but I think most people just have misconception, and it's all because they don't take off time to really think. You got pastors around. You think when you read on Facebook, pastors should not take part in politics, then it means that you're theologically inclined? No, it only means that, sorry to say, but you're not well schooled. God did not say pastors should take part in politics. God says speak against the injustices and the wrongdoing as much as you speak about the prosperity, acknowledging the prosperity and advancement of the government by the decision they make. Also speak against the injustices, the wrongdoing, widespread corruption, because these things affect the people. Why you pastor and say the people not going to church? The people didn't want to kind of church again. It's because the decisions that are being taken politically affecting them. So they prefer to stay home because they are frustrated. They can't find a way out. And so they depend on to speak. You are afraid. But yeah, you want them to go to church so that they will put offering. How they will get the money when hardship has taken over the country? They cannot see the way out. How they will be encouraged to go to church? So sometimes as a pastor, you need to think. You need to think. It's not just saying, oh, the people in one kind of church, the people in let go. If Jesus Christ was still on the earth, if Jesus Christ was in Liberia, you're going to see Jesus Christ approach. You're going to see president after president. You're going to see Jesus Christ speaking against the ill decision, the irrational decision, the pains that they will inflict on the people. You hear Jesus speaking against the wrongdoings and injustices and corruption. You hear Jesus speaking against them. You get the president of the Liberia Council of Churches, who President Boakai, the politician, President Boakai appointed him. You expect anything to come from him? That's why when the people say, sorry to say, again, I tell you, we are all Christians, but listen, that's what they call boldness. When the people say the church in Liberia is dead, then some people get vexed. It's not the screaming and shouting and hallelujah and I prophesy, I see you traveling. It means that you are you got that boldness. No. Take up time. Look at society. You're managing people. You're managing people. You're presiding over people. These people are the ones who assemble on Sunday and weekdays. These people are the ones that you say it's time for offering. They are the ones that you speak to when you say it's time for offering. Where the offering can come, they can go to their various businesses. And so when business not running, when the government impose high taxes and they can't do anything, they can't get their goods. How do you think that when you say it's time for offering that they will go and pour offering? When most of the people are sitting down, then the pastor start blasting. Some of you here, that the reason why you're poor, because you don't want to give. You have to be rational enough to know that society is having a toll on the people. And the decision that the government has made is affecting them. That is why they're not responding. Not that they don't want to respond, not that they are mean to God, but the situation can allow them to do. So you as the pastor now, since the masses is before you, speak to the issues that are unfolding in the country. It doesn't say you are not a pastor. It doesn't say you are not a bishop. Issue an encyclical. Who said the Catholic Church priests are not priests? Who call them politicians? They are not politicians. But when something is unfolding and they know that it is not right for humanity, they speak out through their pastoral letter called the encyclical called a pastoral letter. A pastoral letter or the encyclical is that which addresses every aspect of society. It doesn't say you are not a pastor. You are. It only means that you are a sound, educated, exposed, biblically inclined pastor. The judgment that God talks about, you think is what? You think it's because you prophesy? That all of these things. That's why you need to read Matthew. Is it Matthew 25 or 35? You need to read Matthew 25 when you say, when I was hungry, did you give me to eat? Did you feed me? When I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was in prison, did you visit me? You think that line, you think that spiritual line there? You think that spiritual line, you think God prophesying? He's telling you how people ought to relate to humanity. And if you do it unto humanity, then you are truly doing it for God because you are obeying that is his instruction. Say, when I was clothed, when I was naked, did you? When I was in jail, people go to jail for conviction. People go to jail wrong reason. All kinds of things happen. What do you do? The guy who runs the prison fellowship organization, I think he is a pastor. His work is to go to the prison, know the number of people in prison, their various charges, how long they've been there, and all the things there. And sometimes he solicits support, help from his partners, and takes things to the prison for people. That's the same thing. That's Matthew 25 there. You got to speak against the injustices. Look at what is unfolding. You think that everything President Boakai doing is right? Silence means that the president is right, his government is right with everything. And you know that everything is not normal in the country. You know that everything is not normal. Jesus spoke against injustices. Jesus spoke against corruption. Jesus spoke against wrongdoing. I gave you one of several. The one that they're going to be using, say, oh, Jesus go in the temple. Oh, Jesus beat the Pope because Jesus was fed. Jesus saw extortion. He saw profiteering. He saw corruption. He saw administrative corruption of all kinds. And that's why he took that action. He was in the temple for almost an hour observing. They were kind of say, the other person say, oh, my man, come in. Oh, and you want the anyone, any amount. How much you get? Person say, I get 1,000 liberty. Say no, but you know the thing is this and that. Just make it 1,005. But say, make it 2,000. I'll give you this one. Make it 2,000. Sometimes they will carry all the way up to 3,000. They were extorting money, just as people are today. Even in government, they say, "Oh, before we do this for you, you must bribe us. You must give us that extortion." All the things Jesus saw. That's why he flogged the people. He said, "Come on, you get outside," because they were profiteering and racketeering. Was Jesus a politician? No, he wasn't. But he saw wrongdoing. He saw injustice. He saw corruption, which was wrong. You have all of those things unfolding today, and everybody mute themselves. That's hypocrisy. That's cowardice. That's sycophancy. I see you. Let's get to the next, and then we zoom out. Our next pointer. That is it. The political leader of the Congress for Democratic Change, it has been announced that he returns to the country today, or next week rather. Yeah. It's not easy. So the Supreme Court denied a writ of prohibition filed by Kaslafona Tikofa and others in the arson case. Yeah. So they moved to plenty happening. All right. So that one, Newton talk about will deal with it. Let's get to this. I only want to talk about the timing, that's all. Only the timing I want to talk about. Only. And then that will be doing it. Nothing else. Only the timing. Only the timing. But before then, let's have this short break. Before then, let's have this break.
They broke down our headquarters, but it didn't break our soul. CDC stands stronger, we are ready, we are bold. From West Point to Point 4, from New Crew Town to Congo. All are welcome here, together we will grow. CDC is our party. George is our leader, standing proud and hard. This party's for the people, for the common man's fight. CDC is more than a structure, CDC is a way of life. We are sharing CDCians and the common people too. We build this new foundation with red, white, and blue. No matter where you're from, no matter who you are, in CDC's big family, you'll always have a part. CDC is our party. George is our leader, standing proud and hard. This fight is for the people, for the common man's fight. CDC is more than a structure, CDC is a way of life. They try to break us down, but we rise above with unity and hope and our liberty and love. From every street and corner, let this anthem sound. CDC is for everyone. Come and gather round. CDC is our party. George Ware is our leader, standing proud and hard. This part is for the people, for the government's fight. CDC is more than a structure. CDC is a way of life. So let the drums beat. Let the people sing from our new headquarters. Let freedom ring. CDC forever, together side by side. All are welcome here with dignity and pride. Show them my, show them my, show them my, show them
George Weah returns to the presidency 2029. George Weah returns to the country September 2nd. The president, in his address to Liberia prior to going to Nigeria to address the Nigerian Bar Association 66th Annual General Conference, was emphatic, was unequivocal, that following his engagement, he will return to Liberia to engage or to rally the Congress for Democratic Change and other world-meaning Liberians on the trend of the country. And then he went on to deliver the address. He said, despite a peaceful democratic transition, President Buhari seeks to rule as a tyrant. This we must resist. Everything that is unfolding in Liberia, except you don't know what a tyrant or who a tyrant is. A tyrant is a dictator. A dictator is a despot. What that means is it is a one-person rule. Whatever that person wants happens. He uses his power, his authority, his influence. He uses that to go against people who will speak against him, who will talk about his bad decision making. He does anything and everything against that person. The rest of the people don't have rights, as you would think that they have right. That's what a tyrant is. A tyrant is a dictator. A dictator is a tyrant. A tyrant is a despot. A despot is a tyrant. Despite a peaceful democratic transition, President Buhari seeks to rule as a tyrant. This we must all resist. Following my engagements, I shall return to Liberia to rally the CDC along with all well-meaning Liberians to resist this tyrannical attempt to trample upon our burgeoning democracy and using all political and legal means guaranteed to us, using all political and legal means guaranteed to us under our Constitution. We've heard, I do not know if that is true, but we heard that the former vice president, who is the political leader of the National Patriotic Party, Joel Howard Taylor trial, should have started today. We do not know, but that's what we heard, that it wouldn't take place because the judge, according to what we heard in the grapevine, is not well. So the case or the hearing is now pushed to September 2nd. The same time the former president is returning into the country. If that information is true, I do not know. That what we heard in the grapevine. I do not know whether that is true or not, but we heard that in the grapevine. Assuming that is true, you want to ponder whether it was intentional or coincidental. September 2nd, we are returned, and then September 2nd, we've got information. We heard from the grapevine reportedly that the trial will start on September 2nd. I do not know. I can say for a fact, I cannot say definitively that is true. I am telling you that what we heard in the grapevine, that's what we heard. Whether it's intentional or a coincidence, I do not know. What I do know is the former president, the political leader of the leading opposition Congress of Democratic Change, global icon George Weah returns to the country on September 2nd. We also heard, and we don't want to believe that to be true, but that what we heard, that the government will want to pick him up in connection with the drugs stuff. That what we heard. We do not know. Again, we cannot say that for a fact. Neither have we heard that from his camp, but that's what has been floating all over the place. Again, that is just in the air, but I don't think the government can do that. I don't think the Unity Party government has any plan whatsoever to do that. In fact, why would the government want to do that? Why? Why would the government? You want to ask yourself, why would the government want to do that? What will it profit the government to do that? I don't think they have any plans whatsoever. But that is the rumor out of or in this country. Our society, you know that our society is a rumor-based society. Our society catches rumor in a twinkling of an eye and spreads it, runs with it. That's the kind of society that we have. It is a rumor-based society. I don't think the government has any intention of doing that. The government wouldn't want to do that. In fact, the government has learned their mistake from the vice president, the former vice president, Joe Taylor treatment. That wasn't right at all. Even though some of the supporters said nothing wrong with that, but all of the legal people said that was wrong. I don't think the government has any plans whatsoever to arrest the former president, because you can't just arrest somebody. You have to have a notification in advance. You have to state exactly why. In fact, you can summon. You can't just do that. So that is what is in the grapevine or in the atmosphere. So that's what they're saying. We're just listening. I don't think the government can do that. No, they don't have any plan whatsoever. So the former president returns to the country on September 2nd by God's grace. By God's grace. We are instructed by God to put everything in his hands. And if God permits, Jesus was instructed to move that way, Paul and the rest of the guys. So by God's grace, the former president returns to the country. This morning, Israel was very extensive, very exhaustive with it, urging you supporters of CDC to turn out. Let me add my voice to what Israel shared with you, the advice, the caution, the motivation, uplifting your spirit, that you have to turn out, and not just turning out, but you have to turn out in your tens of thousands. That's what I can say. You have to turn out in your tens of thousands. And this is how you need to turn out. You want to get you want to get your CDC regalia or CDC unit form, because it is your political leader now. You are a member of CDC. You want to be identified. You want them to identify you as CDC. Don't be afraid. Don't go in disguise. No, don't go in disguise. Wear your party T-shirt, your beret, your jeans trousers, your sneakers, and you move in a peaceful manner. That's what I can say. I'm just adding my voice to what Israel advised you people this morning, motivated uplifted your spirit to get ready for September 2nd. September 2nd will be on what? Wednesday? Let me check the calendar. It will be on Wednesday, the 2nd of September. Today is the 28th. Tomorrow is the 29th. Thursday is the 30th. Friday is the 31st. So Saturday will be the 1st. Sunday, the 2nd. Is it September 2nd? Saturday, what year? Is it Saturday? Okay, the 1st. And then Sunday, the 2nd will be on Sunday. The 2nd. Is my calendar right? You check your calendar. Is my calendar right? I seen Saturday the 1st. Friday will be the 31st. Today is the 28th. Today is the 28th. And tomorrow, Saturday, the 29th. No, I think my calendar wrong. I think I wrong calendar here. But you get me. The 2nd, yeah, I know it's the 2nd, but I want to know the day before I can go further. I want to know the day, because I don't think my calendar is right. Where's the other phone? Let me, yeah. Or if not, then what? Okay, Wednesday. All right. Let me ask. My phone is not. I don't think the calendar is set. Yeah. I don't think it's set. Let me ask. Oh yeah. I want to make sure. I want to make sure. I want to make sure. Let me ask. That's the reason we get all the things. All right. Okay. Wednesday. All right. The internet told me Wednesday, September 2nd, Wednesday, 2026. All right. So, yes, my calendar ain't correct. I gotta make adjustment. I gotta adjust my calendar. So it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday the 2nd. You turn out in your tens of thousands. You turn out in your tens of thousands. You turn out in your tens of thousands. You people aren't going to or entering the airport itself. No, that is a commercial hub, and you're not going to go in there, but you're going to line up the route. You get your water, You get your food in your little plastic bag because it's at 12 noon. It's at 12 noon. 12 noon. So he might be touching down between 1, 2, 3, or 4. It depends on the flight schedule. The party will release that, but you want to carry your little food, your water, even though you have people selling water on the road, but you want to carry your little food. If you have sufficient money, that will be fine, so that you will have energy, because you will not just get 12 o'clock and then the plane touchdown at 12. Probably it might be 2, 3, 4, or 5, and you will be waiting. So you need to energize yourself. You need to re-energize yourself after walking long hours and waiting. So take along your little food. If you can cook early morning, you cook your dry bread, your smoothie, your sausage. You know that kind of juicy dry bread, palatable. Yeah. You cook it, you put it in your plastic bag, or if you get your rubber can, they have these things that the people selling. Yeah. They think that the military people can use. They have the can on, they have the rubber on. You can stuff the food inside, press it down there. You carry it. But your turnout in your tens of thousands. Huh? Show to the people. Tell them that you're ready. Now don't stay away. Even if it is raining, and September, it does not rain heavily as June, July, August. September will kind of, whoa. When you hear people say, oh, la lady versation is just like September rain. That's why it means. You just get, whoa. You see September rain start, sun starts shining. So don't even worry. Rain, sun, moon, dew, whatever. Show to these people that you are ready. Show them a preview of 2029. Show them a preview of 2029. Let the people continue to know that President Weah still maintains the greatest, highest popularity of anybody in this country. This morning I was listening to Israel. You were playing, how do you call the guy? Henry Costa, the one that I shot among all the political parties, hustle and nobody business. It's shit nice. Me say that with Unity Party. And you're talking about Weah popularity, even though he say CDC that caught, but he talked about the strength, the power of George Weah. And that strength, that power of Weah in you. And that's what you need to demonstrate on September 2nd, Wednesday. Get ready, start preparing from today. Start preparing from today. Get your jeans trousers, your sneaker. Early morning, you get your food prepared. Get ready, get your things set. I said go down there with slippers on, you walk in there, slipper car, you walk on bare feet, you start experiencing pain. No. And don't wear tight sneakers that you wore 10, 15 minutes, then the sneakers start pitching you. Wear sneakers that will get less space, that it will be free a little bit, so it will not pinch you. If your sneaker can feel you neat, let my own, I have it on, no problem. But don't go wear tight thing. That will get you hotter. Get your jeans trousers, short or long or your CDC t-shirt. If you get sticker for George Weah, you get the flare, with Weah image on it, you carry it that you're right. Nothing wrong with that. When President Bouaga leaving the country, people can bid him farewell. When President Bouaga coming into the country, the people can line up to receive him, to welcome him. That normal thing all around the world with all presidents. This one, we are not president again. Weah is your standard bearer. So you welcome him back into the country as the standard bearer. Get out in your tens of thousands. That's what I'm saying to you. Israel told you people this morning, he spoke lengthily. I'm only talking about the number, the numerical strength. That's all. Come out in your tens of thousands. There on Wednesday, we know whether that expression that you can be using 2029, we're taking from there 2029. The word we know now, we see whether truly you mean it. Because what they will see on Wednesday, they will start to tremble. Fever will start to catch them. Say, these people, serious. That is that all I see you. That all I wanted to say. Israel said all this morning, I only say I'm going to talk about the numbers. And this number is tens of thousands. You know what tens of thousands is? That when they see it, that what God called it multitudes. 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 When you read, I think it's Luke 12. Luke 12. I may not be too exact, but I show here around there. They say, and the multitudes gathered, and the multitudes gathered to see Jesus speak. And the multitude, going to multitude, he said multitudes. Multitudes is the same as tens of thousands. Tens of thousands is the same as multitudes. Many. Then you know how God describes such a number again that I was telling you all. Because we'll be outside to see. Then the other way that God described such a gathering, he says, see, S-E-A, see. It's not a reference for bodies of water, but human beings. Human beings that when you see, your eyes say, hey, what happened here? When you see human beings, as what God described it as see, multitudes. We say tens of thousands. You come out in your tens of thousands. Get ready, start preparing from today. If you truly believe that you are ready to take this government on 2029, and you believe that George Weah is going back 2029, flushing Boaka or and going back 2029, you have to start demonstrating it on Wednesday. Come out in your tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. Come out on Wednesday. Rain, dew, sono, moon, darko. Come out in your tens of thousands. What did I say? Come out in your tens of thousands. I see you. I see you. That's it. Let's go. Maybe a few comments quickly, and then that will be doing it the rest of the time for you people. Yeah, my calendar not correct. Not correct, Joseph. My calendar, I gotta set it. Aziza said we will make sure to carry no. You're going over there tomorrow. I'm not tomorrow, rather. Wednesday, you please go with your bare hands. In your bare hands should be your food, your water, your food to eat, nothing else. Don't go there. Nobody should show any violent act. Nobody should cause anybody. And when people insult you from outside, because all those things will happen. When you hear people say, oh, you're CDC, oh, you think you will come out of power, oh, look at the stupid people, you hear all those things. You don't respond to them. That is temptation. You have to use wisdom. It's a political warfare. A political warfare means your enemy will tempt you. And when you give in, your enemy will use it against you. Then your good plan that you have is spoiled. They will say all manner of things, You hear them saying, oh, Joey are there, oh, Joey are not there. You think Joey will come back to power? You who will get out of power? All kind of things. You don't respond to them. You just be in order. You continue. You get your music, you carry it too. You get your job. We have music, you get your CDC. So you can you be playing it. While they talking, they think you're listening to your music, you work on your president back home. And then after that, you return peacefully and wait for the next meeting. Because he said he will rally CDC and all well-meaning Liberians. Who else? Let us see. 56 said Liberians are still traumatized by the 14+ civil war and senseless injustice. Right. Tobasi says public accountability. Rallies demanding the dismissal. Hey, my man. See, I want you to go to Aji come on the side. You follow the Discord, the pointer. You can't tell I talk about Aji come on. Word 4, what said Matthew? Okay, you were acting to his men. Okay. All right, so let's go. Rita. Rita. How many times did I call you Rita? Rita. Yeah. All right, let's go to the line. Let's take a few calls, and that will be doing it for today. Let's go. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 98 0375. Those are the numbers to have your say, and then we are out for today. Hello, madam.
Yeah.
Yes, let's hear you, class prefect Agatha Glasgow. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, thank you so much for passing on the information to get prepared on September to be able to work on our data. We pray that all of us will stay there and come safe. We pray that there will be no partner will not on the stage. And then we call yesterday. We want to go there and I'm asking every support that is now on Wednesday to prepare for ourselves and ask people to say it's not a possible. We are peaceful people, we are good people, and we always go up to people because of the peace. That's why we are found today to the chairman that was here today. So I pray that all the voted and stuff, don't try anything else. Nothing that you want to put up a day again that we always taking out a the best job, but nothing. I'm going to say that you know the kind of man, the plastic that so you'll be able to put out some check to kill.
All right, Agatha, thank you so much. Good advice. You'll be very careful. You don't go there with nothing. Make sure that you're in order so that they don't capitalize on it and say this. You know the government already. Hello.
Hello, Andrew. Hello.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, just how if I want to respectively. Yeah, as we go on that day, by the grace of God, we are not going for anything like God. There'll be also United Partisans. I'll be planting things around. The whole people. So as you go in there, they go in peace and come out in peace. Yeah, go where you lay water and drink it. No one will touch you. You are not one person in your pocket. They want to bring the cookie. So I think it's necessary for us to go there and come out in peace and all. So we can tell the people that we are peaceful. To have a good day.
All right, too. Yeah, you too. Nice weekend. I wish you. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
I tell you.
Yeah, it's all about calling for justice. Memo of concern Liberia for justice. Andrew, thank you very much. Then we want to stay in here to call our leader there. Because we the responsible people will be responsible for our bottle of water in our hair and we are prepared already. And the jail person, we have fully one Sunday before you went to Ghana. Because they say you're coming to us, I will prepare with my kids and everything before they will go through it and coming next week. When I say, so my chain transfer, my red barrel, my t-shirt, everything I prepare. I'm not waiting for you. When I say to get to the church of the church, what I let you today. They all say, so I want to call our dear there, they live carry up. And we are going from that place. They must be there to be monitoring the people that will join in our midst with the university. It's going to be where the rest of the world, CDC, they will protect. Beg you. That will be watching. Then the people that are talking to be watching before they come on there and go drive because of it. And then drop cocaine, they are cocaine people, they are cocaine government. People that drop cocaine say, oh, we don't see cocaine and more CCO because they will see the power. So they want to say no and get point. So I beg you, the leadership, Janka 400 leadership will listen to me. You're free, you will be so everybody. Please, thank you so much.
All right, madam. Thank you too for calling. Have a nice weekend. Men's line, hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Peter David Castle, a cover honorary street in Rod Johnson, an outstanding member of the Concerned Bureau of Justice. And Mr. Sam Andrew, thank you for fascinating discussion. And let me thank and appreciate the executive committee of the CDC or the Magic Coalition for Democracy for that particular and accurate information. And it means calculation. Say, oh, when we are not in the country, thankfully, that is September 2nd, which will be on Wednesday. We are going to converge at the Rabat International Airport and ensure that and welcome His Excellency Dr. Johnson we have back in the country. And the Canton now, he's the next president. There's no doubt. There's in all indications, they have been proven and that Joseph Imabwaka and Konis are totally failed the Liberian people. Even those that voted them, you check on the various social media platforms, those are the used as the propagandics against CDC. All of them have really falling apart from them. And the various community, nobody want to see them. Because the basic people are angry. The motorcyclists are angry. Keke riders are angry. So on the 2nd of September, they are going to be easy. It will be a celebration.
All right, Chief.
And a victory for the people of Liberia. Thank you very much.
Women's line, hello, madam.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's hear you, madam.
thank you, yeah, thank you, Baba. If I want to up, I come and I up. Solution, we are sir. But who are sir? I want little child. But who are you wanting? Please, you got to leave it in your house. We go for peace. You know, not people. And one shot of the yes, I the they will go. They peace. So we beg you. We go for peace. And we walk out of peace. What that best I will go and walk out of peace. Thank you, sir.
All right, Ma'am Bessie. Thank you too. Have a nice weekend. Men's line, hello.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Mr. Andrew, I am Spencer Mohammed, and I call from Down Coast Punio. Winter Community, member of Concerned Librarian for Justice. Mr. Andrew, thank you very much this afternoon for for uplifting the awareness of the return of His Excellency Dr. Osman Awia. And I just want to add my voice to the awareness. Every citizen, every Wia who felt the impact of the free tuition policy. Everyone who felt the impact of the free the unprecedented rule connectivity on our President Wia. Everyone who is now going to Emory Hospital, who's now going to 14 Military Hospital, who's now going to Samuel Kanyado Memorial Hospital, who's now going to the Gea Memorial Hospital, everyone that is visiting those places and getting the benefit, getting able treatment, everyone that is now going to the dialysis center that President Wia
activated on our country. I will speak to you people. Let us all converge at the Rabat International Airport to give the man his power when he is still alive. This is the time, President, we are near us. If truly indeed what President we have did for us was unprecedented, this is the time that we have to show to him love. We are not going there to show any sign of hooliganism. I strongly believe
Chief.
that citizens are peaceful. Yeah, just a second. I strongly believe that citizens are peaceful. We demonstrated it from the day they built down our party headquarters, and up to now we are still demonstrating it.
Okay.
On the 22nd, we'll go there to welcome our leader. Thank you very much.
Hello? Next line from the other end.
Thank you, Ben. How are you?
Fine.
This is Edmund Carr, and I'm a proud member of Concern like Road for Justice. And thank you, man. That was wonderful. And, you know, I don't know whether this is the silent year in Liberia for the pastors. You know, like one of my colleagues was saying this morning on Issue in Society, he said, the way you guys are muted, and you should remain muted because you will not try to say anything when other people are now standing up, making sure that the right thing is done. Because what else you want to see? Because pastor can be politician. Yeah. Nobody not saying that you should go stay in the chair and say, I am a citizen or I am a unity party thing. No. Because you don't know who you are presiding over. They are mixed members in the church, which of course they were doing during the 2023 election. So they were showing that identity that they were unity party pastor, which of course is not good in the church. But this is why you're trying to come when you speak. So the issue that affects the country, that affects your very church, some of them are complaining offering. You think what is causing that problem? When the poor will go sell, they cannot realize anything. When people will go to the job, they cannot realize anything. They are taking them off their job. There is no way to tear out again anything. So it's just necessary that you talk, because if all the position leaders will decide to remain quiet, it's quite surprising. I don't know what is going on. You can see the peace of the country. Yeah, you can see the see from a Bible or lady or woman or mother treated the way she was treated. Saying that time that you said when they got the adjustment or pastor, well, not about it. But what do you know? When they have more water is coming, you see more water. They're not going to look for a particular church. They're not going to look for a particular pastor. No, it comes for everybody. So I think it is important that these people should open up homes. As long as you are decided to remain muted, you should be muted. Because when we are standing on that, you want to open up, we are going to mute you back. So thank you for that splendid presentation. This serves as an acknowledgement for all of us to know, because this is a warning what lies ahead of us. And for the return, we will be our number. We already started mobilizing in our community. So we will be prepared, and we are preparing to go peacefully and to come back peacefully. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much, Emeka. Wish you the same. Let's get this one out of Liberia. You went off, Chief. Then let's try it again. Hello? You are on the air. Hello? Yes, madam.
Good morning from Minnesota, Papa. Good afternoon from Liberia. Good evening. How you doing, though?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank God Almighty for life.
Okay, this is my Rebecca calling again from Minnesota. You know, because of our country, we don't sleep. So, if I went this morning, just listening in a little bit, I said, let me just talk quick before I sleep again. Well, I want to say thanks for your topic on a discussion or your deliberation this afternoon, this morning to our people. And I sat down here when you were like quoting the Bibles and people of God, what we're supposed to do as pastor, as minister, as bishop. And I sat down here, I said, oh, wow. I'm guilty, but I'm not guilty. because I'm one of those. I am the sanctuary pastor for my church in Minnesota, the Victory Outreach Church. And you know, I joined the church in 2015, and there's something I learned that make me now, I'm so vocal. I'm not afraid to speak through into power. Even when I changed my profile picture to Joel, people call me, you are a pastor. Why are you doing this? I said, God said we should speak the truth. You can't be a pastor and be on one side. They said, Andrew, let me tell you something. There are Liberians in Minnesota here, on the radio, on national radio, listening to me from all over the world. That are freedom, that follow kings. When President Weah came to power, it was one of the Independence Day. Liberians in Minnesota, they claimed to be the nation. I was thinking, we're going because the Bible urges us as a believer that we should pray for people that are in authority. And when we pray for them and they are leading the country the right way, we ourselves, the people in the country, can be safe. You understand what I'm saying? So my ultimate program, I saw poor men, women of God, some of them called the prophets there, praying for the fall of PDC and nation. Let me lift the Labrador community today. Andrew, I'm sorry for taking a long time. Left that church and walk away. I'm like, wow. You said something. Somebody in the market, maybe people may not believe what she was saying, the person fall in the spirit. I said, Liberia, we need to pray. The dark cloud, the evil that we are doing, causing death, sickness, both young and old. And let me tell you, Andrew, it's happening right here in the United States. Our children can get sick. They just fall down and just die in front of us. What's going on? Other nationals are here. Every weekend, Liberians are in the cemetery, burying their children. It's scary. Bro, pastors are not speaking. When you say, oh, stay now because what let the press, they take that as an offense. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
The Bible urges us. Go into the sanctuary according to you, Papa. And because of injustice, he whipped people in the book of Matthew. Why will he send Moses to Pharaoh? Send me. So again, Liberians, few days from now, which is our own father, our son will be entering the country. Peace. You've been peaceful. Continue to be peaceful.
All right.
Liberia is a place you can be deported. And God didn't get every opportunity to travel out of the country.
Okay.
Continue to pray.
All right.
God intervention in our country. Thank you so much, Andrew, and God bless you. Happy weekend.
Man, wish you the same. It's Rebecca. Let's go this way from the United States. One more women voice to another woman voice. Hello, madam.
Hello?
Yep.
Yes, Andrew.
Yep.
How are you?
Fine, oh, fine. And you?
Thank you. Some of all will not be there, but we'll pray for the people that will be there because some of all will not well. But we're praying God for the people that will be there. The one that go there will nurse, the one that go there will plow, the one go there peaceful.
All right. Okay, madam. Good advice. Hello? Men's line. Yeah.
So that I can express my feelings towards the citizen. Hello?
You on the air, we're listening to you.
Okay, I just have piece of advice. My name is Dennis, and I do call from Twitter, Magiri. Let the citizen be very mindful that people will use their very members. Even the ruling party will use someone from within their rank. And then that person will come and then try to carry on some disturbances so that the citizen, the opposition will be tarnished. So let us be mindful of it. Because we know in Liberia, we live in the rural communities and we can do some walking and things with the from them. But we can't fall
So why you can hear from them?
Well, some of the things that we can hear from them, I just try to intelligently give some of the information. That is the thing that when the citizens gather together, we go in there, they are made with the ourselves and I like we are citizens, and at the end of the day, we do some things, and their names will be at the front. Are you getting me?
Yeah. I'm listening to you, Chief.
So let's citizens be very mindful. We should be law abiding. We should not be doing things that will be out of the ethics, because when we are going in the street as citizens to go to our demonstration or to go meet our president, we will be acting in the confines of the law. But if they can to do something that will not go with our plan, then our repetition will spoil.
Yeah, you're right.
They will take photos. They will do some recording and what have you, and send it on the net or what have you. Then they say these are citizens.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they will not be captured.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. All right. Nice advice. Very good advice. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, that's true.
We should be very, very careful. I'm begging all of them. I'm begging all of us. Father, we should not be violent.
Yeah, good advice. Hello?
Afternoon?
Yep.
There's a Republican and I come from my Ghana resident. Let me appreciate the entire FM family. That's what is what we have. And because that's what is what we have, we want to pray. And that's why we encourage participation. We ought to be courageous in this process. Let us stand by our parties. Let us go and receive our standard bearer and rejoin. What we are not going for conflict. We pray for don't like good health, the return of President Weir. But as we all move to the airport, let us be mindful and let us speak of ourselves. Because the people who are in power don't want to see us. The people that we are from foreign land. Because as soon as they say you are a citizen, you are going back as a man who from a foreign land. Well, I have proof. Our intelligence, we have proof, and we are indicated to the world that they go out the day when people used to get into the street to protest, to vandalize things. But the posture of anything is making me so impressive. They are giving more hope, more courage. They're going to go and receive our standard bearer and can safely home. Whatsoever our standard bearer will tell us, I know it's a peaceful man. We all should step by him until we see the end of this battle. We'll never rise. We'll be as division. Forever. Thank you, Mom.
Nice one. Thank you too for calling. Have a nice weekend. Yes, all of you. Your fellow citizens, uplift their spirit, give them the courage, the impetus, the motivation to get ready for Wednesday. Everyone knows that the government is tricky, just like Satan, and they will want to do something funny or then put it on CDC, but it won't work because everyone knows now the government has been exposed many times at different times on different fronts. Hello.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. St. Andrew. Yeah, this is Edward, calling you from around the park up in town. I want to say thank you this afternoon for the information. And I can assure our people that we will be there by the grace of God, and we go in there with the people. I am on a friend is coming. My own there will come in there. They coming Wednesday. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you too. Have a nice weekend. You get ready. You get ready to move. You get ready to move. You move in your tens of thousands. You prove to them. You tell them that you're ready. You're ready for 2029. You tell them. Make them to know that you're ready. Hello. Turn off the radio, Chief.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Is that right now?
Yeah, you're okay.
Thank you. I just want to acknowledge my parents. You know, I'm here, Bambi, I'm calling from Georgetown. Yeah, I just want to acknowledge my parents to be law and party. But if any eventuality that will come before us, we help us, above all, on our side, we will get them to the level. And this time is fire for fire. And we are ready for any eventuality. We are known as will be people. If anybody church starts up, we come to church start there with more fire.
No, my man, don't care nothing over there. No, I beg you. No, you don't care. No, wahala over there. No. Hello. No. Hello.
Hello. How you doing, St. Andrew?
Fine.
I want to bless ever so much for taking my call. Yeah, this is Prophet becoming a call from fire.
Let's hear you, Prophet.
Yeah, my son on now, hey, the Republic of Liberia. I see many of our religious team or members, they get better name by it be called to them, pastors, reverend, and whosoever. I didn't see no brave men in this country like some of us that drop on our thing to where that God wants us to do it. Not everybody I call, don't say they are poor. Look at Liberia today. I have been calling all of the time upon the council of churches, even the party chairman, Reverend Luther Carpet, God-fearing man. What must it take for him to even get to President Potter in his bedroom to tell him, say, this is what you are doing, you are proceeding wrong with this country? I see nobody in the country. But if I would find 2 to 4 men like me, we join together, we go have press conference, I think maybe it will kill, let it kill us. For me, I fear nothing. So God is one that have my life. If you can say the battle, you cannot destroy it, so it means nothing. So I want to call on all our Nigerian people, our citizens. Where is the son of Liberia? We want them to be at peace to go and welcome Joria in most extent. When he come to Liberia, we all will say be a one Liberia for one Liberia. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for calling. Have a nice day. Thanks to every one of you for spicing it up. So if you are a sedition, don't move with that mindset that if anything, you will retaliate. Don't do that. Don't go with that mindset. Then you will be creating or you will be giving the people the space to do what they want to do if they will ever attempt. But you can overlook it. You can dismiss them completely because they have done series of things in the past. Don't put on such idea. Don't do that. You get ready, move peacefully, non-violent, prove to them that you are peaceful, that your party is a peaceful party. You seditions are peaceful people, non-violent. You give the government the benefit of the doubt. You give Unity Party the benefit of the doubt. Don't do anything so that they don't capitalize it. Don't attempt to, don't say, oh, what they do, they will retaliate. No. Don't do that. The Capitol building case resumed after the after Fonatikova and his team filed a writ of prohibition. The Supreme Court handed down several rulings today, and one of them, they say the court must proceed with the trial. So don't be surprised. Hearing that, don't be surprised. Forget it. Don't be surprised. You know, this too is Liberia. All right, so that's it. That's it. That's all the time we've got. So you know, pastors, let me just say again as we go. Nowhere in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, God said pastor or pastors should engage in politics or take part in politics. That expression is wrong. Misconception. Pastor, don't take part in politics. Pastor, don't get engaged in politics. But pastor speaks against the ills of society or in society. Bad decision. The pastor can see things in the community unfolding in the community, not right for the community. The pastor can speak out. Once it borders on affecting the masses, the people, the pastor has the right to speak out. It's different from engaging in politics. It's different from being fully engaged in politics. Get it? The pastors ought to speak out on issues just as they speak on religious, theological, spiritual issues. The pastor can issue encyclical. Encyclical is the pastoral position. It can be individual, it can be church, it can be an institution, it can be a faith base. Meaning that is the position of that pastor or the position of that church or the position of that faith-based institution. It is called encyclical, a pastoral position on any issues, community, national. It is not that you are in the politicians and other people who are supporters of this government. Yesterday, they were not telling you pastors should not engage in politics. Yesterday, they were encouraging you to speak out because they were against George Weah. Those pastors today profited. President Bouaka appointed them into various positions. You pastors who are saying these things, sometimes say, God, amen. God said, look, there are 5 senses here. Use it wisely. It's not to be used loosely. That means you must be philosophical enough, put up a good reasoning ability. That's why the men say, do not rush to speak. Analyze, be analytical. Put no emotion into anything. James 1:19, be slow to speak, quick to hear, slow to anger. The people who you said in you said, pastor should not take part in politics. The people told you yesterday they did not say don't take part in politics. Yesterday you were all over the place, you were shouting and screaming. They were supporting you because they were supporting Unity Party against George Weah. The pastors that were talking yesterday, because they were CBC pastors, what you heard them say, oh, don't take part in politics, the church should not do the whole church and all that. Fast forward, the people now who are telling you, do not take part in politics. Politics, pastor can take part in politics. What you see? They are the ones who are enjoying from this government. They are the ones where they are. They're in government positions. They're in political positions. Then you sit there with a numbskull, and then you say, oh, Pastor Monate pa in politics. Pastor Monate, they God say take part in politics. God did not say take part. God said speak. You know why they accept those government positions? Because they don't want to speak out. They are profiting. They're getting the 5,000, the 10,000 US. Then you sitting out there on Facebook. The pastor that telling you, don't take part in politics. Look at the pastor. That pastor is either a supporter of Unity Party or the pastor is getting something from Unity Party official. So they don't want you to be talking about the injustices, the ills, the wrongdoing of their government. I said yesterday why they were not telling you pastors should not take part in politics. Why they left you? Because they were against the CDC government. They were against George Weah. When Bishop Gadier Johnson had that gathering, I will bring that picture when Bishop Gadier Johnson knelt down. What did you hear the people say? Most of the bishops and other people that were against Gadier Johnson. They said, oh, Gadier Johnson reduced the pastorate. Gadier Johnson did it. Gadier Johnson that. I get that photo, I'll bring it, I'll put it on the screen. What is the difference between they and Gadier Johnson? Gadier Johnson respected the president. Bishop Gadier Johnson respected the president. They too, they respected President Bouaka. They accepted political position. Your pastor, you say all of us are Christians, all of us. I'm not missing my words on anything because I need you to give me your pulpit to preach. Get my pulpit on King's FM. And I speak boldly. I speak the truth. Today or tomorrow, you stay in from God. God will never tell you, oh yeah, I only send you to prophesy. I only send you to perform signs and wonders. He would say, when my people were suffering, when they were hungry, did you? When they were being subjected, when pains were inflicted on them, when injustice was meted against them, when they were lied on and put in jail, when they didn't have food to eat, what did you do? Will you stand up and say, I prophesy? Will you tell God, say, I deliver 3, 4, 5 persons, or I deliver 10 persons, or I deliver 500 persons? You think that nonsense God going to hear, or you going to tell God? The man said, watch over humanity. Use the very Bible, because everything is there. How do you call the guys you find out in Ezekiel? In Ezekiel, what the guys were doing? They ration for the people. I will get it. I think it's in Ezekiel, either 34 or so I will get it. The guys, you know what they were doing? They were taking the people materials. The people who say the religious leader too. I say the correction started way back. They were taking the people in supply for the people, diverting it onto themselves. When God saw that, he got so vexed. What did he say? He said, I myself will come down and inflict pain on you. Why? Because they were denying humanity. They're just ration. They're just food for survival. Can you imagine? They diverted the people, materials. And God saw it, he got vexed. And said, I will come down and inflict pain and punish you. Why was God vexed? Because that was injustice, that was wrong, that was corruption. Nobody going to stay in front of God as pastor, bishop, and apostle. And God say, yeah, thank you for prophesying. You delivered 9,000 persons when you were pastor. You prophesied 1 million times. Nobody going to present that bull crap to God. He's going to tell you that he said, when I was hungry, did you? When injustice were being meted, did you speak out? When the people were groaning, did you empathize with them? I see you, man. I see you. I see you. Why? Ask yourself. Imagine today, pastors today asking, where Marco Francis, where is Kafuma Kone, Reverend Pleasant Harris, and on we can go. Imagine pastor, those people, their generation over, they go, they serve their generation. You now, you in your generation, you in your time. All of these injustices unfolding, bad political decisions. And you say, if we have Marco Francis did his. Marco Francis was not a politician. Marco Francis was the a religious leader, the bishop of the Catholic Church. And Marco Francis spoke out against the issues of his day. He faced the political leader of the day. He faced Charles Taylor and every issue that was unfolding that was not right. God not going to tell Marco Francis that you engaged in politics that did not tell you to get in politics. God will give Marco Francis a knock sign and say, that is exactly what I expect of you. Marco Francis was not a politician, but he engaged the political leaders of the day, meaning the decisions that they were taking. That's what God said. Shakafuma Kone. Shakafuma Kone was a politician. Shakafuma Kone was not a politician. He was a religious leader, an Islamic religious leader. And he saw in the cases about wrongdoing, about corruption, about inflicting pains on people, about bad decision making, and he will speak out. Was he a politician? No. Was he right? Yes. Reverend Pleasant Harris, we can go on to name all of those people. Why are you asking? Imagine pastors today, pastors saying, if we had Marco Francis, amen, we missed the late Marco Francis. You are a pastor, should be saying you missed the late Marco Francis. It means that you scared. You're not brave, no boldness as a pastor. Today, you're saying that you missed Marco Francis? What happened? Marco Francis was not doing anything extra that you can do today. Shakafuma Kone did not do anything extra that year. They were only speaking against the injustices, the wrongdoing, bad political decisions. And where the government made progress, they will acknowledge it and thank the government, acknowledge the president and thank the president. Where the president faltered, they will say it. And that's what it is. It did not take away their theological position from them. It did not take away their pastorate from them. They remain pastor, they remain imam, they remain in their theological position. Today, it said that oh, Pastor Manate Pai in politics. Yes, sir. Your other pastors enjoying. Yesterday, they were using your. They were using your. Oh, your talk. You get and you're talking against Joe. We are going now. So they're profiting now because they were using your as a pawn on a chessboard. They were using your. So they accomplished their aims. Now President Boaka appointed most of them. Why you can tell them that pastor resign, you pastor resign? Why you can tell them? Why you can tell them? They're on MPA board. They're getting their 5,000, and every time they have meeting, that 2,000, 1,000, 1,005, depending on the meeting. They're on FPRC board. They're on NTA board. They're on NOCAL. They're on most of these boards around here. I see you, man. I see you. Oh, God. Yeah, man. I see you. I see you. But please join us at 8 o'clock. Newton Topa and the Diaspora team. At 8 o'clock tonight, they're going to bring you the issues that are unfolding, the latest development are coming out from the Supreme Court and other issues. That will be at 8 o'clock tonight when Newton Topa and the Diaspora team will face the issues. This is how Real Talk Recess for this week to return afresh on next week, Monday. Join us if you can. Before then, at 7 in the morning, when Israel Boy we are see is in with Let's Talk About It. If God permits, we're back next week, Monday. This is how we go home.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. They broke down our headquarters, but it didn't break our soul. CDC stands stronger. We are ready, we are bold. From West Point to Point 4, from New Crew Town to Congo. All are welcome here. Together we will grow. CDC is our party. George Way is our leader, standing proud and hard. This party's for the people, for the common man's fight. CDC is more than a structure. CDC is a way of life. Oh. We are Shian CDCians and the common people too. We build this new foundation with red, white, and blue. No matter where you're from, no matter who you are, in CDC's big family, you'll always have a part. CDC is our party. George Way is our leader, standing proud and hard. This fight is for the people, for the common man's fight. CDC is more than a structure. CDC is a way of life.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5. Just for you.